Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to The Wellness Show on health, wealth, and enlightenment. And we're live on this sunny day here in the Shuswap in Paradise, and looking forward to time in the garden and getting all of everything planted. So it'll be the year of abundance. I'm looking forward to the year of abundance. So, Laura, welcome to the show. And what's the topic for today?
It is money and abundance. Just what you were just talking about. Money and abundance.
Right. Money and abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what do you have to say about money and abundance?
Well, lots of people have blocks for them for many different reasons, but what's interesting is that I woke up this morning and Amy Jo Ellis Abraham just sat her down and said, we need to talk about it. People are using the Court of Atonement to unblock and to get riches, and they're like, it's kind of like having like you have a pool and you've dammed it up with rocks, right, out of a river. And so you want more flow so that you can, I don't know, go sledding or sliding down the river, you know. And if you were to remove all of the blocks, then you no longer have the pool. So there's reasons why people put up blocks for their money and their abundance. So one must be very careful about removing blocks of abundance in their monetary, because we have issues with money. We have fear wrapped up around it. There's reasons why people who win the lottery lose millions of dollars within a year of winning it, because of exactly what it is that we're talking about right now. So Tyson has warned me that he's going to get real with this topic, and I like it when he gets real and when you get tough, because that's where the answers are. Life isn't like just here, we're just going to hand it to you and you're just going to have it. One must work diligently to get to the place where you can appreciate and deal with money, because it's a responsibility.
Yeah, well, thank you for that introduction. And yeah, we have created a dam. I mean, there's a divine flow of which we are part of. And the covenant with God, or creator, or source of all, that everything will be granted unto you. So the only possible thing could be in the way of creating that dam of the divine flow of infinite, unlimited abundance is you, or me, or both of us, or us collectively as a society, or as a culture, a tradition, or whatever of our belief system. Is the only thing that could be creating a dam between us and our divine birthright. So the first thing is we're already abundantly wealthy. We already have everything granted unto us, right? Like the birds of the air and the fishes of the sea and the beasts of the field, everything is granted unto us. All the food, everything, every material want that we could ever have. But it's an inside job. And what do I mean by that? We are looking for the riches externally. We want to mine the earth for getting all the different elements to make our latest version of the iPhone. And why do we want an iPhone, or why do we want the latest technology? Because we haven't taken the time to go inwardly and connect with source, so that we don't need that technology. So we're looking for the solution outside of ourselves. We're looking in the world for abundance and riches. We pretend that comes from exchanging labor. But our covenant with God is there's no such thing as exchanging labor. I mean, the First Nations and indigenous people didn't go to work. They never went to work.
I completely agree with you, and that's a whole concept that would be very difficult for many people to understand that concept. I think it's very much over many people's heads.
Well, but we have to speak the truth. And when we speak the truth and we state it out there, then we can make the decision of whether you want to adjust to it or not. So let's begin at the beginning. So we can agree that everything in the world has a vibrational frequency, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then money has a frequency.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what creates that frequency?
The frequency of yours or overall general?
Well, let's start wherever you want to start.
Well, I guess it would start with what job you have and how they view money and the abundance just in your workplace, right?
So it starts with you. So in other words, you're absolutely right. So whatever your attitude is to money sets the vibrational frequency of how you can receive or not receive money.
Exactly.
So it is an energetic match. I mean, we went through the 12 laws of the universe, and we started to talk about that. I don't know whether it was in I guess it was in the class we did. Remember the 12 laws of the universe?
Yeah.
And that, there's a correspondence, there's a vibrational frequency, like attracts like. So if you have a negative connotation about money because it came from your childhood, like my childhood, my mom was always complaining to my dad that there wasn't enough money. And he had a pretty good job, but for my mom it was not enough. So I grew up in a household where there wasn't enough. It was never going to be good enough. My mom was never going to be happy. I don't know why she felt that way, but that's the way so I grew up in this reality of a conditioning of there's never enough, right? There's a scarcity.
Right.
So that becomes what I would be called my set point, right? That's the fundamental set point that it comes from my childhood. Yeah. So I can either accept that set point, and for most people, they don't even know that there's a financial set point that's been established by their parents or their culture or the religion or their belief system, right? Yeah. So first of all, you need to know what that set point is and whether you are willing to adjust it or not, which means you have to change your beliefs about money, your attitude towards money, so that there can have a match, right? So you were saying, well, if I am matched here and I win the lottery there, this money here is going to come down to match this, right?
Yeah.
You understand? It just is a foregone conclusion. However, if my set point is up here and I'm down here, like I've recalibrated, then the money will come up and match that new set point. So we create this set point inside of ourselves of the divine flow, and it's up to us because God gave us Garden of Eden. And how did we get booted out of the Garden of Eden anyway? I mean, in the Garden of Eden, did you have to worry about being fed?
No, but the temptation of the apple, right? Eat it.
I mean, the trouble with talking about the Garden of Eden is there's so many misconceptions about what that means. But let's just look at it this way. The Garden of Eden was infinite abundance. You didn't have to go to work. Everything was granted unto you. So there was some covenant between you or us, me, you, and God, that everything would be provided. So then how did we get in the way of that divine flow? How did we get ourselves kicked out of the Garden of Eden? Never mind the apple and the serpent.
But there's that's just the story that they have created to explain what happened. Because
yes, but never mind. Never mind the story. I mean, it is an actual fact that there is a Garden of Eden and there is a covenant from God, right? Can we accept that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just assume that that's true. Then who kicked us out? Did we kick ourselves out, or did God kick ourselves out?
Well, I think that we did it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not listening, but I think that there was a lot of.
So what were you listening to? Because I think you're on the right track. I agree with you. I think we weren't listening. So what weren't we listening to?
Well, the laws of energy, but I also think that we had, at one point, we had the ability and that was the Garden of Eden, or the last life, or the last earth or world. And then we got denser, right?
Right.
And
So
we got
do you agree then that if the vibrational frequency of the Garden of Eden is a frequency of eternal abundance that's granted by God, that when we raise our consciousness to that level, then everything will be granted unto you? Does that make sense?
absolutely 100%.
Okay. So if we do that individually, will we have abundance?
You will, to the vibrational match that you can handle.
Exactly. So I said, if you raised yourself to that vibration of the Garden of Eden, would you have unlimited abundance?
Honestly, I haven't done it, so I can't honestly say
No,
yes.
but going to the laws of physics, that would be what the result would be.
That
If
would,
like attracts like,
yeah,
then that would be the foregone conclusion.
yeah.
So then, if we were able to do that collectively, would we not have heaven on earth?
Yes, but you also have to not want riches in order to receive it. You have to know what it feels like to not want it and not need it in order to be able to receive it fully.
But isn't that part of being in the Garden of Eden? If you're in the Garden of Eden, wanting or not wanting isn't something that's in your mind, because there is no not wanting. Because you have everything.
Yes, and I totally agree, but try and wrap that around your head.
Well, this is what we're trying to do. This is why we're talking about this. This is why we're wrapping it around our head.
But remember, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my audience.
That's okay.
You and I get this.
I just want to make sure you get it, right? Because if you're on the same page that I am, then we can talk about it and help other people get there.
Heck yeah, I'm there 100%.
Okay.
I'm right there with you.
So how would you help people get there?
That's interesting, because they have to do it themselves. I can show them the way. And now, granted, I haven't gotten there myself yet.
But but if there's I agree. I'm not there either.
Right.
But can we say that we can bring a person to the energetic level of our own set point of what we've come to? Is that not true, that we can help a person to rise to the level it's inside of themselves that matches our own? Does that not make sense to you?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you're going to help somebody get their set point to your set point, then how would you do that?
Okay, so I've done that before. We're just like taking the fear out of money.
Yeah, exactly. Great.
So what I say is, you have a package of tomato seeds that you pay $1 for. You go out in your back garden, you plant them, you tend to them, you love them, you water them, you sun them, you cover them if it gets too cold, and when they're at their prime ripeness for picking, you pick them, and now you have a whole box of them that you can take and sell for, now let's say $100, right? So now you've taken $1, and the energy matched to all of your energy and time and love has now come out into $100.
Great.
So you just made
an analogy. Yeah, that's a great analogy. So now, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. I was done.
You were done. Okay, so what's the hidden energy behind that? Yes, you as a human planted the seeds, and you tended the crop by watering it, and you harvested, and you took your seeds, which cost you $1, and made $100 or $150. But what's the actual real energy exchange that went on?
Well, all of my love and all of my time and patience into it. Just like if somebody else, like let's say you came up because you're a software engineer and you do all of your love and you're in your work. Now
let me interrupt you. Sorry. Let me just interrupt you, because the key point here is that we're talking about the Garden of Eden, and we're talking about the covenant between humans and God. And your example is so perfect of that covenant because you're using an analogy of growing food.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about Divine Mother, or the energy of Gaia, which is the hidden energy that you align to by planting the seed which came from Mother Nature, nurturing, and on behalf of Mother Nature. Mother Nature was the one that created the wealth that allowed you then to sell what cost you $1 for $10. Is that not true?
Yes.
So were you not then totally in harmony with the principles of the Garden of Eden?
I was, but so does the other person that's buying.
No, I'm just stay with me. So, yeah. So is it not a covenant that with God and Gaia and Mother Earth that created abundance, right?
Yes, that I will give you whatever it is that you need in the divine timing of what it is that you need.
Exactly.
Now, do we need more than what God provides?
Well, when would you have more than what you need? Why would you have? What would be a situation of wanting or needing more?
Because in the fall, after the harvest, I'm going to now create all the stuff that I need for the winter, because you and I both live in a very cold space.
Right. So let's say we did all of that, because that's right. We did all of that. Then why would we need more?
You don't.
No, you do. You do, because it's the other principle of manifestation. Why would you want more?
Are we talking food? Like, I'm not. You go ahead, because I'm not following you now.
Well, we're talking about food, and we're talking about gardens, and we're talking about having enough to get us through the winter. And I love that you using this food analogy, because it's easy to relate it back to the Garden of Eden and the covenant we have with God.
Yes.
Okay. So then the next question was, okay, now we've stocked everything that we need for the winter. Why would we want to have more? And the next answer would be because we want to give it away, right? Wouldn't I would. I mean, to me, tithing or giving of what it is, of my abundance, because I know that if I tithe myself of 10% of what I receive, then it will be returned unto me tenfold. That's what the Bible tells me. I mean, I'm in the Bible, sorry, but this is what came to me this morning. This is what I said. Talk about the Bible. And what is the covenant with God, right?
It's threefold. But yeah, I agree.
Okay, threefold.
Yeah.
So tithing is part of that too. So these are our universal principles that we have been taught.
Yeah. So when people come to me for a reading, I will charge them up to a certain amount of time, and then I stop my clock, and they don't know I've stopped my clock, and then we go until it's naturally finished, right? So, because I was taught a long time ago to give more than what it is that I'm receiving. Always give more. So that's my tithing in just an everyday giving, right? Does that make sense?
Right, absolutely. So the principle.
I'm sorry. And then to be thankful and appreciative, not only for the person that came and got that, but how the energy came through me, through God. I always thank you so much, so appreciative of that. More of this, please, God. And then I move on.
Right. So you got the next principle. So the first principle is be in harmony with Mother Nature and know that your true abundance of everything that we've created on Earth, even if it's man-made, came from Mother Earth. Okay, so she's the one that creates unlimited abundance, and it's part of the divine covenant with God that will be granted unto you as it was in the Garden of Eden. The second principle is that when you give, you tithe as well, right? That your return is because you're aligned with Mother Earth and natural evolution. You tithe and it's returned to you threefold. And the next principle that you brought up, which is obviously the next one, is gratitude. Gratitude for the abundance that you've received through Divine Mother and through Mother Earth, and the ability to help others and the ability to tithe those that don't have. And now you have gratitude. And then when you have gratitude and you actually track your gratitude, like in a book of gains, for example, like I have, and this is just, it could be your abundance, but this one works for me, and this is what my coach had me do, to write down absolutely everything that I've received into my book of gains, that therefore it's a full act of gratitude. And even the bills that I pay, provide me for the services I have. And even my credit cards allow me to have things ahead of time, right? So all of it, giving and receiving, when I have gratitude according to the laws of prosperity, in that exchange will be returned to me according to the gratitude that I have for what I've already received. Because the universe will deliver exactly what is dominant in your mind. So if I have gratitude, it's going to say, hey, let's deliver Tyson gratitude. It's like UPS delivers more gratitude to my front door. But if I have fear about money and paying my bills, guess what? I get fear delivered to my front door. UPS doesn't care what you order, it just delivers it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's the fundamental principles that I understand about money. So now we can open it up to questions and answers and whatever, but those are the basic principles that I understand about my covenant with God or source consciousness, my relationship to Divine Mother as being the source of all abundance, and then how do I interact and repay my respects to Divine Mother, and how do I then take care of myself, my own needs, in turn, my societal needs, right? My societal responsibilities, whether it be paying taxes or making donations or tithing, right? To what I think I need to sustain or help those that have less than I have. And then the last aspect is gratitude for what I've received and be eternally grateful. To me, that's the full cycle of manifestation.
Is your phone on?
My phone is on.
And I've also heard I have to wait for admin to accept my joining on Be Live. So I don't know who has that ability.
That would be Mr. Michael. I don't know what that is about.
So those are the two things, and for you to adjust your face so that point your camera down a bit, Tyson, so the bottom thirds of the graphic is over your face. That was a little while ago, but we just went through what we have to.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means, but anyway. Up or down?
Pull it towards you. The top. Nope. Wrong way. Yeah. Like pump up your chair. A little bit more. Oh, perfect.
All right. Welcome to the Wellness Show.
Hi, Tyson. Ozge Ar.Fried.
Hi, Ozge Fried. How are you?
Good, thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
I'm trying to get you on Zoom. It's not working. That's besides the point.
Yeah, well, we're on a different medium and we're trying out this Be Live, but we'll be probably most likely back on Zoom tomorrow. We're just trying out this because of scheduling. So what's up, and can we give you a hand with anything?
Yeah, we're having some issues with the landlord, different things. And like a lot of other emotional turmoil with my wife and I.
Yeah. So what do you think that's all about?
Probably some insecurity that I have within myself that's attracting, but otherwise it wouldn't be happening. But,
right.
It's still a rough situation now. It's kind of hard to fix alone.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we can do. So what would you like to have cleared out of the way?
Whatever's blocking me whatever's blocking us, say, from standing in our truth with the landlord, and whatever's causing these problems.
Right.
Where you have to stand in your truth and not being able to do it.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about standing in your truth, at one level, you have to be able to stand in your truth no matter what, and then sometimes you have to be able to be in your truth, but allow for whatever divine providence needs to do in order for there to be the most benevolent outcome for all concerned. So it's sort of like a delicate balance, like riding a bicycle. You can't be too sovereign and stuck in the mud, so to speak, on one side, and you can't be too wishy-washy on the other. So finding that middle way. So, Laura, do you have any insight in this?
I just get fear exactly with what we were talking about. Has he been listening to the show today?
Have you been listening to the show today?
trying to on Zoom. I couldn't access
Right.
it. I don't know how to access it otherwise.
Yeah, well, and you're not on Facebook, so you can't do it that way. But we'll be
I
back.
can do it through YouTube if you're on YouTube.
Yeah, we are on YouTube. So that we've been talking about abundance and the eternal covenant, a covenant between God and man, and the beasts and the fishes and the fowls and all of that. And what does that mean? And how do you manifest? How do we get out of our own way? How do we raise our set point? How to be in harmony? And how do we have gratitude for what it is we've received? And the whole concept of tithing. So all this is intimately connected, where the only set point that denies us from the Garden of Eden and from eternal abundance is our own fear, doubt, shame, guilt, that we're not good enough or that we're in our own way. And Laura's got her finger up, so she wants to say.
I'm getting information. God is testing him to be able to allow God to provide for him, because what is coming in, the energy that's coming into him, he has to remove these blocks, kind of like how I always talk about you have to be a hollow bone in order for the river to flow through, for God to flow through, for the information to flow through. This is his major test of before it all just starts happening. So
just let me check. I know you're in the flow. Were you able to hear that?
I wasn't able to hear it so well now.
Okay, so
I could hear you very well.
yeah. Okay, so
something was hollow bone. I heard something about a hollow bone.
Yeah. So could you say that a little bit louder? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I didn't feel he could hear it. So
God is testing him to be able to allow God to provide.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, God is testing me to allow him to provide.
Okay.
Yes, without fear. Because the work that you have to do needs to flow through. You can't be working. You can't be distracted. You need to do what you need to do, and you know what it is that you need to do, because we've all talked about it. So how the money comes in is not nearly as important right now as letting go of the fear and allowing that energy to do what it is that you need to do. You should be doing it now and not waiting. And I know that you're like afraid and like you're stuck in this fear pattern. And I just want to come over there and shake it out, because you have.
I'll come over and hug you, okay?
You have really.
I appreciate that.
What did he say?
I said I'm going to come over and hug you, and he said I appreciate that.
Because I'm going to shake him.
She's going to shake you, but between us, we'll get you on the right path.
Yeah, and I told him. Right. I told him that I was like, he's got such important work to do. Just stop being afraid and do the work, and everything will be provided for you. It'll just flow in. You won't even know where it's coming from, and you won't care. It'll just start to happen. So do what you need to do. Do what it is that we saw the day that we did the meditation. You know what I'm talking about. Just do it.
So get out of your own way and get out of fear.
I mean, I've been doing the meditation and the deep starting protocol like very rigorously, every single day since I started like a few months ago.
Okay, so let me ask you this: are you having? I know you take life very, very seriously, but to the extent that you're being serious about it, are you doing an equal amount of playing with your son and going for walks and making your wife giggle?
I'm trying, yeah. I believe
Well,
so.
stop trying, just
I'm
do.
trying.
Yeah, stop trying and just do.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt. It's more important for you to be doing nothing at this point than trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
If your brain kicks in and you're trying to figure something out, go for a walk or play with your kid, or particularly your wife, or do whatever it is to stop thinking. Your brain is not your friend right now. You are being guided from source consciousness to get your job done, and you need to rely on the fact that you will be in the right place at the right time for miracles to happen. And anything other than that is you getting caught up in your own fear, doubt, shame, guilt, or whatever the story is.
Ask him about the scanty.
I'm having a very hard time getting out of that.
Yeah. Laura wants you to, what is that, Laura?
Ask him if he remembers what I told him about the chanting.
Do you remember what Laura said about the chanting?
Yeah, I used that.
Yeah, he's used that.
No. You have to do it until your whole body tingles.
Do it until your whole body tingles. This is God speaking. All right? So don't forget, you're taking life way too serious, and I know why. You quit your job, and you may be moving to Israel, and there's so much going on, and you got stuff coming from your in-laws, your outlaws, and your good guys and bad guys. A lot's happened.
Another thing you just mentioned. Yeah, we're gonna be by my in-laws tomorrow night.
Right. So just let it all go. I want you to go dance, go sing in the rain, or go play in the sun, or have a picnic. Do something totally counter to what you think you need to be doing. Go have fun. I don't care what it is. Go to the park or go for a walk. Take your kid, make him giggle, chase your wife around the house. I don't care what it is, but do something, please. Okay? Get out of your head.
Make wild, passionate love, dude.
Lauren's saying make wild, passionate love, dude. We'll leave it at that. Love you. Take care. Bye for now.
Take care.
He's like, at least I got him giggling.
Yeah, we got him giggling.
You're off of work. Go do it, honey. That's how we make more.
That's right. Yeah. So So the best way to deal with entities, I think, who was talking about that at breakfast? I know that I don't know where this came from, but you can't have entities if you're making love. They can't exist in that vibrational frequency. So there you are. Make love.
Yeah, make love, not war. Isn't that what they always say?
Exactly. Entities cannot deal in the vibration of love. It's impossible for them. They can only exist and inhabit you in fear, doubt, shame, guilt, or any of those negative emotions. So rock on, baby. Get out those records and boogie and have some fun.
So Karen Tucker is waiting for what?
About what? So don't forget, you can phone in toll free in North America, 1-866-669-7464. I think the number's on your screen periodically, and the lines are now open. Phone in about what you think about abundance, or what blocks you may have to abundance, or if you want a little help get from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest amount of time. Let us help you take back your personal power. So let's just do a little clearing around any of these blocks, right?
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So if you've got a pendulum and you're listening to this show, we use a pendulum to create a vortex, and it's a counter-rotational vortex, which according to vortex technology is clearing out of your energy system like a tornado passing across the face of the earth, taking up everything that's in its path and clearing it out of the way, right? So this is why we're spinning the pendulum counterclockwise. If you don't have a pendulum, use your index finger, and you're rotating it counterclockwise to create a vortex to remove what no longer serves you. And if you could repeat after me, I'll do this slowly so that you can repeat it after I say it. So I, state your name. So I, Tayson Badigan, in my I am presence.
My I am presence.
Hereby remove any and all blocks related to abundance,
relating to abundance,
prosperity, wealth, money, divine flow.
What was that?
Divine flow. Any other words that we can use that around that, Flora? Money, abundance, divine flow, cash.
Abundance is the big one, I think.
Yeah, well, abundance doesn't really have the same triggers on it as money does and all the rest. So prosperity, abundance, money, cash, and all the other terms related to exchange, let's put it that way. Okay? And we undertake this clearing throughout the multidimensional levels of reality, throughout all time, space, and dimensions, and through our patriarchal lineages, soul family, star family, and family of origin. We clear any and all false beliefs with regarding to the exchange of energy between us and God and Divine Mother and Mother Earth. and we clear all core fractures, toxic emotions, unresolved conflict throughout our energy systems, and I declare it so, so be it. It is done. Thank you. And I install, spinning my pendulum clockwise, that I'm a sovereign human being and that my covenant with Creator is that all shall be granted unto me, that I'll be in the right place at the right time, that abundance will flow into me to the extent that I need it to serve me and my family and my society to the fullest extent that I will allow it to flow into my life. And I hereby declare it so, so be it. It is done. Thank you. So I would like to talk about the planet that we have on, that we live on right now. Some people call it the prison planet. And why do they call it the prison planet? Because the biggest bondage, or the biggest concept, the biggest false concept that holds us in bondage is the concept of money and exchange. And why would I say that? Because if it's true that there's unlimited abundance and our birthright is unlimited abundance, then the concept of money and working for money is a lie. And so in order to perpetuate a lie, you know, the lie is so important to keep everybody busy. And we only understood this now with COVID-19, when we've been confined to being in our homes, to realize, well, wait a minute, none of this makes any sense or made any sense. And why am I sending my kids to the school? And why am I having to go to work to do what I'm doing? And, you know, if the government has money to pay for me now, you know, to stay at home, well, why doesn't the government have money to pay me a guaranteed annual income? Okay. So why can't the government do that so that I'm free in order to be prosperous in the way that I want to be prosperous? Those that don't want to do anything won't do anything anyway. And those that do are going to do it whether they get paid or not, because it's a love in their heart to create and to provide abundance or beautiful things for other people to buy. So what if we just did that, you know? And that is really going counter to the law of the land, which is counter to the law of God. The law of the land says render under Caesar, right? You must pay taxes. If you don't pay taxes, you don't have the rights of society. So it's a false belief. So we are like the beasts of the field. In the Bible, it says, we are the guardians and stewards of all the fishes in the sea, of all the birds in the air, and all the beasts in the field, right? That we are the stewards. And it says that if we are the proper earth stewards that we're meant to be, that the lion will lie down with the lamb, right? And will eat grass, right? That the whole wilderness that we think that's wild and chaotic will cease to exist, that there will be harmony amongst all the race of humanity, and the relationship between humans and animals will come to balance as we come to heaven and earth. So we're living and perpetuating a lie, a false truth. And the more we perpetuate this individually and collectively, we are truly the beasts of the field. In other words, we're the ones in servitude. We're the ones that are being slaughtered. We're the ones that are being eaten alive. We're the ones that are being sacrificed on the altar of Mammoth, right? Of the false god. So there you are. That's, to me, is the truth of the truth of the truth, whether we like it or not. So it's time to wake up, everybody. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee and get on with it and free yourself, becoming a sovereign human being. And I'm not saying you need to go to war. I'm not saying you need to get a picket sign. I'm not saying that you need to, you know, pick up your rifle or do that, or, you know, don't tread on me or I'll shoot you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you need to please look at how are you living your life, what's relevant to you, and if you can become one with the divine flow and one with Mother Earth, it will be granted unto you, and even in the midst of this chaos. Abundance beyond your wildest dream. And I'm not talking about winning the lottery. I'm talking about what will show up in your life. Okay? So try it out. Why not? You got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Right.
Why not? Order it from the universe with love and compassion. See what shows up on your front door. I know in my life that, not only is the abundance flowing here when I can get out of my own way, but it's flowing for everybody on this property. It never ceases. I have to be taking things out the front door or the back door to let things come in the front door. It's amazing. It's, I think of something and it arrives. And it's such a wonderful way to live in gratitude of where you are and what's happening in your life. And then you can turn around and help everybody else because you have so much more energy and excitement about the world that you're living in, even when...
Why did we stop?
This information you're taken care of.
Okay.
So there you are. So what do you think about this out there?
Darlene Turner, where did you go now? Are we still going? This is weird. Okay, Darlene Turner says, important to share and give like you always have, more than enough and lots to share. This can be an energy share of service as well. And I don't know where my host went. And is it just me? Yep, it is. So, now it's just me. Michael, what happened? He's offline. Okay. So it's just me. So we're gonna talk about abundance, and Darlene has a really good point here that it's important to share and give like you always have, more than enough and lots to share. I completely agree with that. And I'll tell people, have a savings account, and then anytime that you fall below what you think or you start to get into the fear of money, always remember that you have more than enough, and train yourself to always put like 10% into that savings account, or I don't know, put it in a bottle in the backyard. I don't care where you put it, just so that you know that you have more than enough. What happens when you live paycheck to paycheck and you don't have more than enough? Then the fear starts to take over, and rightfully so, because you think and you fear that you won't have enough and that you won't be able to feed yourself or pay your rent or whatnot. And then that gets you into that psychological whirlwind and fear-based of where society is right now, to continually always be in lack. So do yourself a favor, get yourself some extra money that you can say, I'm always have more than enough. I'm always taken care of. God is always providing for me. And the abundance will continue to flow more and more and more, faster and faster and faster. Michael, is it's just not working for him. I got what I wanted today. I said, let me just do the show today. Tyson doesn't need to come on.
Yeah, I am on it.
Because we were testing this out. So maybe I manifested this, Michael. So anyways, I know I sure did. So anyways, abundance is an amazing thing. And when you get out of the fear, then you're able to always like God will start descending, like he was saying, Tyson was saying, it was just coming to him like with effortless ease. And that's exactly what happens when you don't have this fear. The abundance will start to flow in. You won't even know where it comes from. This is what we're trying to explain to the caller, and to stop worrying about not having enough, and to be joyful and playful and always know that you have more than enough. Now, being mindful of how you spend your money is also very important too, right? How you take your abundance and you share it. To be more mindful, it's sacred. God gave it to you for a very good reason, to be able to utilize it for what it is that you desire within the world, right? But not like, I can't say not like, because everyone has their different needs and desires. So it's all good. What I think when it gets out of balance so much is where the problems exist, where like maybe drugs and alcohol will come in, or embezzlement, things like that. Gambling will do it sometimes. Not saying that you can't go and play the slots every now and again. It's when you sit there day in and day out, and it's more of an addiction. So we always want to have some kind of an evenness about it, right? But abundance is an amazing thing, and when you get rid of that fear, and you can allow the money to flow in, like everything will, like when I pay something out, like let's say I pay out a bill, right? And let's say $1,000 for a bill, right? All of a sudden I'll have an influx of income, right? And God will be like, oh, okay, well, you put that out. Now she needs this much more in, right? And then if I hold it and I'll say, oh, there's $1,000 and I only have 1,500. If I pay that $1,000, I might not have enough. If I start thinking that way, then everything will start to slow down and come to almost a standstill in the abundance, right? But if I open up my heart and my soul and I pay for it with no fear, knowing, then God will always provide. Always. Michael is asking me to mention the I Am program this Friday. So this Friday, Tyson is holding his class, his hour and a half. It's usually an hour to 2 hours, somewhere in there. And when we did the I Am show a few shows back, we went through, I think it was 100 and some different I Am statements. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time, it's noon Central time, and 11 a.m. Eastern time. And how much is it, Michael, for that class? So you're going to learn all about the I am statements. When you declare that I am abundant, I am beautiful, I am kind, I am caring, I am lovely, lovable, witty, charming, I am. When you start to say these I am statements, then you start to vibrate at that. That's why they're so important. So he's going to go through these I am statements with you. There's a lot too. And then you can start to do your I am statements for yourself. Like, let's say that you have low self-esteem and you just want to, or you don't love your body fully, right? Then you can say, I am beautiful. I'm trying to think, like, I am whatever. I'm not going to keep going into it because I'm losing my train of thought. But the class is at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Pacific Mountain time at this point. Oh, thank you. It's $33 for the class on Friday with Tyson. You can go on his academy and can you guys put that up, the academy, put it up on the show note, or on the show, so it'll come up underneath of how you can sign up for the class on Thursday, and add your camera, Tyson, if you can hear me. Then let's say Annette Theodosin. In my case, lineage had to be cleared surrounding belief systems. When a being tampers with your timeline, pendulum clearing helped, but did not fully fix the problem. I'm not.
Can you hear me at all, Laura?
What that means with abundance. I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. Well, I've been being able to hear you all the way along, but I need Michael to put me back in there.
There you are.
Yeah. So, Michael, you need to be able to put me back in. I can't put myself back in. So I've been waiting for you to put me back in. So I don't know what's with the square here either. I have somebody blocking me. This is my own financial set point, this big square that's in my way.
Maybe I manifested that block too.
Yeah, I know. I know you want to run the show by yourself. That's okay.
No, I love having the show with you. If I wanted to do that, I'd do it without you anyway.
That's right. Well, I like the fact that you carried on, so you did great. So, and thank you for inviting everybody for Friday. It should be really amazing. And yes, you're right. There's 101 statements. And I'm sure you can add some more. People can add to that as well. 101 statements, sort of like
101. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So that's where we are now, is 101. So let me just talk about, I don't know, how do we get rid of this square here, Michael? What's going on here?
Move over a little bit. The other way, sweetie. The other way. There you go. I know you keep telling me Karen is waiting, but Michael, we have no control over how Karen is waiting.
We have no control over nothing, Michael. We have squares in our face. We have people kicking us out and not letting us back in.
Oh, Karen, what's
There's
up,
Karen?
Well, good morning.
Good morning to you.
And I wasn't waiting to go live. It was just on my screen.
And now we've gotten rid of Good. Hi, Karen. You want to do the show with me? And Michael.
It is a gorgeous day.
I'm going to just tell you all we're going back to Zoom.
Oh, there's my son.
Not working. I can't believe this is.
So there I am. So there. You can't get rid of me, Laura.
I'm just laughing so hard because there's been so much.
Laura, stop kicking me off.
I know, I'm manifesting this. Come on, Karen, let's do the show together. Push him down.
Here we are. Here we are.
You can try, but you won't succeed. So, Karen, what's up?
She just wanted to join in on and watch the show, right, Karen?
Yes, that is true. However, while I was kicked off, I missed what's going on Friday. So do you mind just reiterating
Sure.
that?
So on Friday at 10 o'clock, I'm teaching a course on I am present, which are statements of manifestation. So once you do the 21 days, or if you're in the midst of doing the deep clearing protocol, it's always good to, once you clear yourself, to install what it is you want. So the I am present statements are 101 statements of what you can install to make this a more of abundant, rich, wealthy, exuberant, joyful life. So that's what we're going to be talking about, and what each one statement means. And we'll probably have suggestions from those that attend the class, what other statements that they may want to include as well. And then, of course, you'll get to be able to download that Word or the Word document so that you can use those to install. And you could wake up in the morning and say, well, which one should I install? I don't have time for 101. So you could just go down the list and say, oh, this is the one I need to install today, or this is the pair that I need to do. So it's a way to teach you how to manifest into your world what it is that you do want once you get rid of what you don't want.
Right. And that's
wonderful. Thank you.
Because you do statements, and I did it more like a story for myself. You know what I'm saying? More like a paragraph that I could read that states I am statements. So it was fun to read. I would read it even to my clients, and they'd be like, wow, it was fun and witty and like fun, it was fun to read. So
no, it's really serious.
So perhaps, I know, and that's more of a male, like just get her done, like very focused. And
that's not
kind of more of a feminine. What?
I'm just being silly.
Oh. So I think I would like to talk to you about that. Maybe we can do your 101, and then I can talk about how I did mine and how you could.
I'm sure everybody will have their suggestions. It's like 101 Dalmatians. They're all variations on the theme about how you can have your favorite pet show up. The 101 Dalmatians. So yeah, we can take it serious, or we can make light fun out of it. But yeah, that's what I came up with. Is I just started the list, and the list kept growing and growing and growing, and I ended up with 101. So, yeah. So come on.
For different sections of my life, I have about me. I have about my business. I have about my love life. And it's I am statements revolving around each one of those.
Right.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it is. That's how you manifest. And it's a great idea to have them on different topics in different ways. I just went for it, sort of like, oh, there's another one that just came through as download after download. So I don't think they're necessarily separated out, but we have done that, the installations and clearings for parasites. And so there's different sets of them for each one. So we'll be creating a whole clearing protocol and installation for abundance, money, what we're talking about. So you're absolutely right. We want to create them for each specific thing. And that's why each one of these classes is so unique, because we're honing in on one area. The deep clearing protocol is doing everything, right? Everything, including the kitchen sink. And once we do that, we want to then focus on what it is that we really want to work on. And of course, a big one for everybody is prosperity and abundance. So we want to then focus on that. But this class, and that will be another class, maybe next Friday. This class is really more general. Once you've done the general clearing, what's the general installation that you want that covers many things as possible? And then the next week we can focus on, why don't we do a class on abundance and prosperity about clearing and installing?
That's good. So Crystal Clear said, you two go together like peanut butter and jelly. So when you were gone, just the jelly was left because I'm sweet.
Yeah, really sticky. All right, so I'm moving along right here. Don't forget that there's 2 courses open right now. There's the Dowsing and Energy Healing Masterclass that you can come and attend, and there's a request to reopen the Boots on the Ground Geomancy class, which is working with angels, elementals, ley lines, sacred sites, vortices, clearing houses, clearing properties, working with the landscape temple, and working with the angels. Exciting course. Crystal's gone through that course, so she can attest to that. And that's a 12-month course, and there's 12 branches to geomancy. So we'll be spending 1 month in each one of those. So I'm really excited about doing that. And if that's something that you can relate to and you want to be involved, then come and join us. And also in the other course in Master Dowsing and Energy Healing class or program, there's 2 ways you can attend, because the one group has already gone through. You can come in at half price at $165 a month, and you'll get admitted into the Facebook page, which is closed. You'll be able to watch all the videos of those that have been through the course, and then you'll be able to come on the last Friday of every month and ask questions in the group. So you can either do it live with us at $333 US a month for 6 months, or at half price at $165 for 6 months. You can make your choice around that. And there's also a request to open up the master class on exorcism of possession, or holistic exorcism. So there's 3 classes that are opening, and of course they're 6-month classes, so they only open up for a period of time, and then it closes, and then opens up in another 6 months. So now's your time to jump on and decide if you would like to join us for any one of those courses. There's also a couple interviews coming up. If I can figure out how you can listen to those interviews, I will let you know. I'm doing one about the coronavirus, the time of the coronavirus, and that's coming up on Wednesday, but I don't know how you join me, but if I figure out, I'll let you know. And if not, you'll be able to watch it on YouTube channel. It'll be uploaded to the YouTube channel after the fact. And so those are things I want to talk. And another one that's coming up. So interviews everywhere. So Laura, what else is happening in your life? What sort of things would you like to talk about? Like, what's the topic for next week, for example? I mean for tomorrow.
Tomorrow is on sacred marriages, right? Or what do we say?
The divine marriage, okay?
The divine marriage. Yes.
Okay, let's do that. I know we're at the top of the hour, so thank you everybody for showing up. We didn't get very many phone calls, so tomorrow, if you have any more questions about abundance, set points, gardens of Edens, and all that stuff, you know, that crazy stuff that Tyson was talking about, like who was he anyway, then feel free to phone in or send your comments to Laura and give her what for. Tell her that she doesn't really know how to run the show by herself or whatever. But keep us in touch. All right.
Back to Zoom tomorrow, people. We're not doing this again, even though
Be live as be dead.
We tried it again.
All right. Sign us off there, Michael. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellness.store.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.